Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 9 of my early campaign where I am playing as the Byzantines. And in the last episode I was able to knock off the Egyptians and my eastern front is nice and quiet now. That is until, the inevitable faction reemergence. I'm just kidding, knock on wood. Hopefully that does not happen. Hopefully I'm able to keep all of my provinces above the threshold of 120% loyalty. That's going to be the magic number here. And so far, I'm able to accomplish that by using my soldiers as garrisons and keeping my taxes relatively low. And I am sending bishops here to convert the populace to orthodoxy so that that can help as well. At first, when I loaded in here, I was like, why the hell am I building a keep here in Palestine? And I couldn't figure it out. And then I remembered that the idea is to build a church here in Palestine to help convert not just Palestine, but surrounding provinces to orthodoxy a bit faster. So that is going to be the play there, to just try to quell this region and to make money off of it, some really good money as well. I'm building stuff kind of haphazardly, just kind of trying to get as much. I'm not really planning anymore. I'm just like going for it. So I need to get a port here in Antioch. I already have the trading post here. I'm working on the port in Tripoli. I am working on a trading post here in Egypt, and then I can start building a port. Sinai is working on just a basic fort. So yeah, there's a lot of work to be done in this area to build it up. And I was just attacked by the Hungarians as well. So they're not done testing me. I wasn't able to inflict a really decisive defeat against them. I was able to kill their king and then the rest of the army fled. Because they had so much light cav, they just mostly got away. And that's the way it's going to be on this western front until I can really get some stuff. They can chase down their horses. In the meantime, I'm just kind of stuck using horse archers and, they'll get the job done, but I don't have a lot of them on this western front right now. At the same time, I don't really want to train a lot of soldiers though right now. I want to make sure that I can afford, these things, the money stuff and the boats. I want to be able to afford boats. Ooh, Crete's not happy. Let's bring you down. Take you off that cliff. Everything else is looking good though. Yeah, and I was able to win a pretty nice naval victory against the Sicilians by sinking 2 of their boats and losing 0, which felt really good. So I'm going to press that and see if I can push them out of the Ionian Sea here. And then hopefully I can get a boat up to the Adriatic, and that's going to feel very, very good. I have some more boats coming in, reinforcements coming in here, so they will be there soon. And finally, once I'm in the Adriatic, then Naples will finally not be cut off from the rest of my people. And I was looking at this army here, it looks okay if I'm looking at what I would potentially face if the papacy wanted to fight me. I'm not too worried about it. But the Sicilians, just because they do have 4 units of Royal Knights, yeah, that's kind of hefty, just those units themselves are kind of scary. I would like to think that my spears can kind of stop them, but it would be nice to have some javelins in this region, and to that extent, I should train some more javelins, just so that I can send them over to Naples as soon as I can, link these places. It's nice that Bulgaria does have a port, so that I can do that as soon as I have some boats here in the Adriatic. What Bulgaria does not have is a trading post, and they do have trade goods. They have grain that they could trade. I think I'm going to prioritize the Egypt and the Levant to make my money for now, of course. Eventually I will build a port and a trading post here in Nicaea to trade my grain here, and then that trading post here in Bulgaria as well. And yeah, it's really tempting to I want to get my Byzantine lancers trained up here in Nicaea eventually. And I'm close. I think I'm close. I think I need to get a keep at least. Yeah. Yeah, I can't quite remember what I need, but I think it's at least a keep level tech. And other than that, I do want to train up to being able to get Bulgarian brigands here in Bulgaria, but that's also quite a ways away. So unfortunately, I will have to kind of focus on economy for now, just because that is what I really want to get going. I also want to be able to train Varangian guards, which is my wonderful heavy infantry unit, You know, I've just this one unit that I started the campaign with, and it's really holding it down here on the Western Front. But being able to train more of them is going to be very key, especially for that mid to late game when I will be facing off against some pretty scary hordes coming from the east. But as I keep saying, it's going to be mostly just about building up my economy at this point. Hopefully no one else declares wars against me. Like hopefully the Almohads, you know, stay nice. I don't have enough to be comfortable out here in Egypt. But once I can start bringing some of these armies into Egypt from Sinai and Palestine and Arabia and Syria, then I'm going to feel better about these things. Like maybe I should just build a bunch of town watches as well. They're really cheap, and they do, even though I don't intend on training soldiers in pretty much any of these provinces, a town watch, it's 2 turns, it's 200 florins, and it does boost loyalty as well. And that can just kind of hold things down in some of these regions until my orthodoxy is converted. So it looks like I already have a town watch here in Arabia. Is there anything? So like, yeah, Syria. Let's just get a town watch here in Syria as well. Maybe Edessa. Yeah. I probably will not be able to afford all these things, but just Armenia's looking okay, isn't it? I mean, yeah, Armenia's okay. They're fine. They're fine. Rum is okay. Edessa. They're okay, but just to be safe, it would be nice to... Yeah, it'd be nice to move this army out. So, like, if I move this army out, what are we looking at here in Syria? 126. It's not bad, is it? It's really not bad. Yeah, let's move them out. You know, if I can get away with it, let's move them down to... Oh, not you. Bishop. But yeah, the army can move down to Palestine. And we'll keep tabs on Syria, and we'll make sure that they stay happy. Let's just be safe and bring that down to high. And can this army move from Arabia? I kind of doubt it. Man, oh, they're looking okay. I gotta lower taxes a little bit, but you know, I'm not making anything in Arabia anyway. It's a really poor province. So let's just do it. Let's bring these armies over. I want them in Egypt. I want to feel safe. Sinai is probably a couple turns away. Well, I'm 1 turn before this fort's finished, and then I can just go from there. But yeah, that should be fine. That's looking good. I'm continuing to train bishops here in Constantinople just to bring them over. They're cheap. They don't cost any upkeep. That's the nice thing about agents, is that you don't have to, you know, pay for them once you've already trained them. Do I have a job for my emissary? Could he be finding a wife for someone? Let me double check this. So yes, you are married. Prince Andronicus. Prince Manuel, I believe, is also married. Yes, he is. It's Romanus, who I don't think he is. No, he is not. So yeah, you could be... I had you looking for someone. I don't think the Hungarians will allow me to marry into their family, but we'll see about that. It's, you know, it's funny. I feel like when I'm requesting someone else's princess to marry into my family, that doesn't count as a ceasefire or an alliance. Like you can like marry their princesses and it doesn't count that way. But then when you use your princesses to do these things, you're offering a ceasefire or an alliance. It's a funny thing. Now, I don't think it's going to work for a nation that I'm at war with, but I feel like, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that is how that is. Like you can remain neutral with a faction and still just marry their princesses, which is kind of nice. So in any case, yeah, I'm looking to find a wife for Prince Romanus. I do have another, 2 more princes that are on the way. They're very, very young. Prince Michael is 2 years old. My emperor is getting up there in age. He's 49, so let's see, in 11 years, he's going to be 60, so it's 13. Yes, we'd love to be like 63, I think. That's not out of the question. That's possible. And Prince Michael, as I was talking in the last episode, he might still be here even once like Prince Andronicus takes over, if my emperor dies before Prince Michael comes of age. That might be how that works, but yeah. In any case, I think that I will just keep moving along here. so that I can build up some, buildings and hopefully things remain quiet for now. I don't really intend to getting my hands dirty for the time being. We have ourselves an Inquisition here in Naples. This is brought on by the Inquisitor that is working for the papacy. Now, it is my understanding the Inquisition, when it's happening, it's just, it raises the zeal in the province, and over time, though, the people kind of get tired of it, or they just are all dead and burnt out. And I didn't mean that for that to be a pun, but yeah, they eventually the zeal will lower after a while. So it's kind of an up and down thing with them. It's something I played kind of an Inquisitor based campaign with my Aragonese campaign, and it was kind of me trying to figure out like how to use them. And in any case, raising the zeal for an Orthodox faction isn't really going to have any effect that I'm aware of, because zeal essentially just kind of raises the amount of people in the province that will join a crusade if it marches through your territory. Now, no one's going to march through Naples on their way to anywhere, and if they're going somewhere, it's going to be a war against me because I own all of the crusade objectives. So this doesn't really mean anything. The other thing that raising zeal does is that it makes Inquisitors more effective at actually being able to try someone of heresy, whether it's like a general or a governor or a king or someone like that. Having high zeal in a province will help with that, and then it kind of matches up against their piety. Like, it's kind of the zeal of the province versus their piety, and the command stars, the talent of the Inquisitor as well is all kind of factored into there. So yes, this doesn't mean anything. It's kind of one of those, it's interesting message. Like, you kind of see it and you're thinking like, oh shit, Inquisition, that sounds bad. And then later, like after it gives you the message that they've burned everyone, you're thinking that could be really bad, but it doesn't really do anything. Like, it doesn't affect the income. It doesn't affect the loyalty of the province. It's just kind of it doesn't do much. Sinai, 4 completed. Good stuff. And yeah, insufficient funds. I was being greedy. And yes, the Hungarians don't want me to marry their daughter. Surprise, surprise. Chinless Wonder, Stephen Zemesis. Yikes. -1 acumen and -1 command for one of my guys over here. And homelands, yes. Cool. So I did just score 15 points. Got some nice trumpets. And that's just, so the 15 points is just for the homelands themselves. It's funny how like it doesn't, like it counted my homelands and my conquest, but it just says homelands on that sheet to there. It's kind of a weird thing. But yeah, I'm killing it right now. I'm doing really well. Like I'm getting 1 point each for all of these provinces. And then I'm getting 4 points for Constantinople. So that's pretty good. That's 15 points. It kind of just shows you right there. And then also for conquest, for every 4 provinces that I'm conquering, I score 1 point for each 4 provinces. I think that also includes the provinces that I start the campaign with, I think. So yeah, that's going well as well. Yeah, so who am I competing up against right now? The Almohads are doing well. They still don't have Valencia, so I think Spain has Valencia. If I go to Homelands, and oh, it's not part of their Homelands objectives. I would have assumed that it would be, but it's not. And the Aragonese are killed. Yes, they are. They do not exist. So yeah, it looks like the Almohads haven't conquered anything. Unless they have, no, they don't have Portugal, do they? Spain. Well, Spain does not have Portugal, so the Almohads may have conquered 1 province, but Portugal's hard to keep track of. It's one of those provinces that is very they have a lot of rebellions there. So let's keep taking a look at this. Danes, let's see, Danes actually conquered something. Well, they get one point for every province that they conquer, so that's good for them. But they start off pretty small. England looks like they are losing the war to. Yeah, they always get their asses kicked by France, which is too bad. And France, I'm assuming, is doing okay. Well, they're doing... Okay, this is confusing. So France does not have Toulouse or... Like Toulouse is right here. That's one of their main places. It's funny how, though, like part of their homeland's objectives is like Edessa, Antioch, Tripoli, and Palestine, all provinces over here, which is just impossible for them to achieve at this point in the campaign. So that's points that they're not getting for something that's literally impossible. Like there's no way that you can get these provinces at this point in the campaign. But Toulouse is something that they start off with, so it's kind of interesting that they have lost that. How are the Germans doing? The Germans are doing okay. They don't have Bavaria, but other than that, they have everything else. Italians, how about them? Yeah, they're doing okay. Looks like they don't have Milan. And the Poles? These are the Poles, right? Yeah. Poles are doing fine. Spanish. Yeah, Spanish have a tough... This is like... Yeah, they don't make shit in the beginning. Yeah, tough. It's a tough start for the Spanish. And yeah, the Hungarians, they just have a fantastic start with their homeless objectives. It's really good for them. Sicilians not bad either. Like they're getting just 5 points each off of Malta and Sicily. So yeah, it's looking okay for them. Looks like, yeah, it's just the French and the English that are at war. Is there anyone else? The Germans and the Italians are at war as well. And that's kind of looking like it other than my wars. So I would like to, once I'm done putting bishops in all of these provinces, I will keep training bishops because, and for those of you who haven't watched any of my other campaigns, I really like knowing what's going on. It's something that I'm, like not being able to look around the map and seeing what's going on really bothers me. And conversely though, one thing that I really do like about this game is that the navies do spy on provinces that they border, which is really, really cool. I love that. And another really neat, just kind of organic thing in this game is that other navies block vision into their provinces. So for instance, if I had a boat in the Adriatic and the Hungarians had a boat in the Adriatic as well, I would not be able to see what they have here. You know, I mean, I would just because I have this like border fort that can spy on these territories, but my navy would not know. So for instance, like that's a kind of a bad example. Even for neutral factions, is what I'm trying to say. Even if I'm up here and it's just a neutral faction with a boat in Skagerrak, and I had a boat here in Skagerrak as well, and you know, it was like a Danish boat, that would be blocking my sight because that my boat can't spy because they're being, you know, interdicted by that other boat there. It's a really organic, just nice, common sense, really interesting way to go about it. And letting boats have vision of any province that they border is also just, I really like it. It really feels good. But it still does feel good to have bishops to cover all of this territory on the intersections of the map where boats cannot spy. You know, that's also very nice for me. Typically in most campaigns, because you need a tier 3 castle to build a church, I believe, right? Like for every faction. So getting to that point where you can actually train religious agents for most factions actually does take a while. However, boats can be built at a tier 2 castle. So usually I will be getting boats out and I can spy on all of these sea regions before I ever can even get religious agents out. The only reason why I'm probably going to do that first with Constantinople is because I do start with a castle. So it's kind of nice getting these bishops out right now. And I might just keep going with that. I mean, just because it is saving me money and I may as well just flood the map with it. They're cheap. It's nice. Well, 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 look at who it is. The Novgorods, the Russians have showed up. They are here in Kiev, and that's good news for me if they take it. Yeah, the rebels are retreating, and once this province is completely owned by the Novgorods, that means that I can trade with them, which is going to be really nice. Looks like I was able to win against the Sicilian Navy in the Ionian Sea, but I did lose a boat, which is not ideal, but that's how it goes sometimes. Port is finished here in Tripoli, Town Watch finished in Syria, and same thing in Edessa, so those places should be a little bit more happy. And anything, let's see, Lord. So this is something I'm just figuring out, and I can be a really slow learner sometimes. Looking at this big parchments full of like names for the traits and everything, it can be overwhelming thinking like what really matters, like what's important. And in most cases, I just think like, I can't remember these names. It doesn't matter, right? I can just, you know, all I'm going to look at really is like prince, king. That's all I really care about, right? Until I finally realized, okay, if it says lord, then that means they're a governor, right? Like, that's true. That's, as always, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just figured that one out. Like, so, and that helps out. I want to know these things. It's just that a lot of times I'll just see things that doesn't matter. Like, it's like, okay, who is this guy? I don't care. Like Steven Tzimisis. You know, this is the guy that he was getting one of those inbred traits in the last turn, you know, and it's getting worse. Now it's -2 acumen and -2 command instead of -1 for each. I can check on him to make sure, but I don't think he matters. Same with like John Macropolis, Macrombolitisa. Approachable manner, +1 acumen, +1 happiness. I'm assuming he's one of the peasants that I have in the castle here, right? But because it doesn't say lord, I don't think it matters. But for Lord Bulgaroktunas, honorable warrior is a good one. Well, actually, okay, not so much for a governor. Not so much for a governor. Considering that he's a governor, I'm assuming. +1 morale, not very useful because this is good for combat. -1 dread. It'd be better if he had extra dread because that, of course, keeps his province in line. Yeah, that's worth keeping an eye on for sure. Prince Manuel, numbers hold no mystery for this man, making him a paragon with account books and monetary matters, +3 acumen. Holy shit! Not only can this guy like fight really well, but he can count all of the people that he's killed. It's a really, really wonderful combination of skills here. So, man, Prince Manuel, I wish he was my next in line. Is there something I wanted to look at, like just to double check what I was just looking at? Yeah, so obviously he's a governor, right? That's good. Honorable warrior, yeah, right. The other guy though, the guy that doesn't matter. It's not you. And is it you? Yeah, my Varangian guard. So I guess it does suck because he would, right, because he was a 3-star general, but because he's inbred, he's now down to a 1-star general. So yeah, that matters. That does matter. I do have Prince Romanus hanging out here, so he can definitely probably be switched up here. And he can probably hold down Serbia. That's probably going to be the play. It seems like the Hungarians are attacking Serbia and not Bulgaria. Is it because of the river? Was that what it was? Yeah, river and then not here. So they could attack from Hungary and not worry about that. But I suppose that if they're going to attack me, they just figured they may as well attack Serbia because they can attack with 2 provinces worth of stuff. It looks like they don't really have much here in Wallachia. Okay, let's look at this blinking icon here. The glorious achievements wants my attention to see if anything has changed. And it looks like nothing. Yes, something has changed. We have an added pip, an added province for my homeland's objectives. Can I see which one it is? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. So these are all provinces that I think I started the campaign with all of these provinces, right? Yeah, it's hard to say which one. Serbia, that was added. Yeah, that's the one. Right. And that's the reason why I took it right away. Was because I was trying to avoid war with the Hungarians, and I knew that they were going to take it right away. Yeah. Cool, so I'm making an extra point off Serbia. Worth it! And Conquest, same thing. So I'll just be getting, instead of 18 points, I'll be making 19 points. Not bad. And then I can take a look at these other factions and see if anything changes for them. And it's looking all pretty similar from what I can tell. I don't know if too much has changed in just that. So the next counting period is going to be 1150. So in 24 years, we will have another counting period. Having these landlocked provinces that do have trade goods is always kind of a complicated, it gives complicated emotions, right? Because you think, gems. Gems sounds very valuable. You know, that sounds like something you could make a lot of money off of. Edessa, what do they have? Silk, spices, and gems. Holy smokes. Armenia, what do they have? Same thing. Silk, spices, gems. Holy moly. You know, that seems all good and all, but these provinces are unfortunately landlocked. So you can't build a port on them. You can't build a trading post. I mean, you can build a trading post because trade does happen internally amongst provinces. But the big money is, of course, ocean trade. So, you know, there's this question, should you even invest in trade in landlocked provinces? I always have done it. This might be one of those things that you can talk me out of if you want to, you know, if you're good at math and you want to show me the numbers and prove me wrong. But I feel like it still does give you a boost, you know? It does give a boost. And with each upgrade, it's like an extra 20% or something to you know, trade income, which, you know, you're not making the thousands of Tripoli and Antioch, but I feel like you're still making like, I don't know, can you make $1,000 if you really get up there to like the top trading, the trade building? Like, can you make $1,000 a turn? That's still worth it, I feel like. Is it? Maybe not. I don't know. It does cost a lot to tech up to those buildings, you know, to get up to a citadel, so that you can get that master trade building. That is a lot of money, so I don't quite know, but I don't know. I don't know. Just my gut tells me if you can make $1,000 off of a landlocked trade province, it still feels okay. But I guess this could be kind of my experiment. You know, I'll find out. I'll keep a closer eye on it this time and see if I can learn anything. Now I have finally brought all of my soldiers from the Levant area down here to Egypt. We're all hanging out here together. And I can kind of look at and see what I want to keep. And I can probably disband my mercenaries as well. And I think you are just peasants. Yes, you are. So I can just put you in your castle. I can retrain you to get your one guy back. And this is all looking pretty happy. And it is. So yeah, now we can just like get rid of these guys. Like horse archers, there's 2 guys left. You've served me well. But I'm not going to pay 4 support costs a turn for you. So disband that unit. A 20-man unit of archers, same thing. I'm paying 24 florins. Disband. And catapult. Catapult would be nice because I still can't train or build my own artillery pieces. But since I do not intend on attacking anyone right now, how much am I paying for this? 22. No, disband. Get out of here. And this 1-man unit of Arab infantry, I'm not even paying anything for it. It's just free. It's tempting to keep him. Disband. Go home. Go home, man. You've served me well. And I can do that with the rest of my mercenaries as well. Oh yeah, these feudal sergeants. These guys were just... I remember them. Do you remember them? They were heroes. There was 10 of them holding the line up against... That was like the biggest battle that I fought against the Egyptians. And that was these feudal sergeants were just amazing. Disband. Go home, guys. Arab infantry. Yeah, same thing. Let's just get rid of these all mercenaries. Let's just stick to our native Byzantine units at this point. And we can send the rest of these folks home. And just like that, the Inquisition has ended in Naples. And that's just kind of what I mean by this. Like, it didn't do anything. It's just a thing. And this event is going to keep happening over and over and over again. Like, that's like actually incentive to kill Inquisitors with assassins. It's just so that this doesn't happen. Not that it does anything, but it does just, you know, it's like another message to read over and over and over again. Naples. I did build a siege engineer here because, well, for one thing, I didn't have one. So I kind of wanted to have a siege engineer somewhere. And I was thinking, you know, Naples can build a siege engineer. So maybe that's something I can focus on here in Naples. Also, because like with siege engineers, a lot of factions, you can only just build a ballista. And as we've seen, ballistas are just way too powerful and they should not be used in any campaign. That's a joke. But what they can train with if you're the Byzantines or like the Almohads, or I think all the Muslim factions can also train naphtha throwers, but at least the Byzantines can, and that's something that's available through the siege engineer. So now, how about I finally get some out on the field? They are good, you know. They can be, like, obviously it's kind of a niche item, but it can blow apart just hordes of infantry, cavalry, whatever. You know, it really can take apart formations, and I have been able to use, like, make them work in custom battles. So why not? For a faction that has an army composition that really becomes outdated as the campaign goes along, you know, maybe that's kind of like that secret weapon, that little tech item that really helps the Byzantine army like hang with the heavy infantry of the high and late period Catholic factions is, you know, maybe some grenades. Just throw some grenades in there, and you can kind of even the odds a little bit. So that's kind of an idea. I was just kind of playing with it. It'd be kind of cool to have what I'm envisioning for my late period Byzantine army. And I know that the simple answer is just to train enough Varangian guards in the high period so that when the late period comes along and I can't train the Varangian guards anymore, I just have so many of them that they will never run out. That is the simple answer. That is a real thing. And maybe I will just do that. But I also want to kind of prepare for a contingency, like a world where I don't have Varangians, and maybe I need to rely on other soldiers to get the job done. And I feel like Napthas, as I just said, it could be like kind of a hidden tech, like something that a lot of people stay away from because they're weird and they're awkward. I played the Mongol invasion campaign for Shogun Total War, and so I have a little bit of practice using the Thunder Bombers, and it's kind of how they work. You know, sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. You know, sometimes they kind of go the wrong way or whatever. But they can work. That's the key, right? And I have an idea for a late period Byzantine army that kind of gets in there with you and kind of gets their hands dirty. It's kind of a close ranged kind of army that, you know, throws javelins and bombs and has these archers that are actually surprisingly good in combat, like Trebizond archers and Bulgarian archers, maybe some Genoese sailors, like, you know, not really focusing so much on crossbows and arbalesters like a lot of high and late period armies, but kind of get in there with these like skirmishes that are surprisingly tough. Handgunners as well. Like, the common route is to go arquebusiers for guns because they have longer range and they have slightly higher accuracy. But handgunners have good like melee prowess and some decent armor, and they can kind of just fire their guns enough to inflict that fear penalty upon the unit that they're attacking, and then just attack. So there's certain ideas that I have for this Byzantine army that I might, you know, be able to show you in the late campaign. We will see how it all turns out. But yeah, first things first, Naples, they have the siege engineer. Now I can train some naphtha throwers there. Nicaea has a trading post finished. Now I can trade my grain there. Same thing with Egypt. They have a trading post finished. Bulgaria, same thing. So lots of trade coming in, insufficient funds. That's fine. The Italians will not let me marry their daughter. Boo on them. Magnificent builder, Emperor Alexius II. Yeah, so +2 loyalty to all generals, +1 happiness in all provinces. That's what I like to see. Anything else? Manuel Ducas. That sounds like a famous person. Really, it's in my brain. It's somewhere in there. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, +2 acumen for him, and fast talkers. I don't think those matter too much. And let's see. So I think okay, so how long before? Okay, one turn before the Novgorods take Kiev. This is exciting. I don't know if I've seen them do anything ever, so I hope they do stuff. That would be cool. And that means that I could trade with them. Right now I'm making almost 3,500, which is nice. It's good. And what I'm gonna do? Did I not train a priest? Gosh darn it, that was silly of me. I want 2 more priests. I want one in Rum and one in Armenia. And then I'm going to go back on what I was just talking about, where I was saying that I'm just going to keep training priests to spy on the whole world. I want boats. I want more boats, so I'm going to do that. Once I got these priests out in these 2 more remaining provinces that used to belong to Muslims, yeah, I'll switch Constantinople over to boat production just to help me get that naval superiority faster. Because yes, now I do have boats in the Adriatic, which feels good because now I can trade with the Papal States and Venice, not Croatia, of course. I'm kind of surprised I'm not making more money, honestly, but oh, it's this, yeah, that's what it is. My trade's being blocked by this boat. And they do have a park, goddamn. Parks are good. Oh, I'm scared. I don't want that to kill me. Okay, let's just do this. And then let's not attack until I have a 3-to-1 advantage. If he attacks me, then that 3rd boat should count in that fight. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, and once that boat is gone, then we'll be able to trade with the Adriatic. Let's try to, you know, be slow here. I know it's tempting to be fast, but if I try to be fast and I just keep losing boats, you know, to these goddamn barks that just have decent stats, that's just going to be a waste of my time. Well, how about it? I should have wrote this down somewhere, but now that the trading post is finished here in Edessa and Armenia, I feel like that number is quite a bit bigger. I mean, Edessa, was Edessa making 300 before? Was it making 400 before? I don't know, but just on a basic trading post, that seems like a decent number, making 600 for a landlocked trading province. In Armenia, making 500. Okay, you know, like, get a few more trading post buildings and boost those numbers over to a grand or so. That seems okay, doesn't it? I haven't finished the one here in Syria, but we will get to it. I think those numbers are manageable, though. I have some units that we'll be sending back to their homes so that they can be retrained in certain provinces. It leaves me with plenty of soldiers here in Egypt to defend Egypt against any potential shenanigans. And I have the Sicilian boat that's still being a little bit cheeky right now. He kind of evaded my soldier. I didn't attack him because I don't know. I thought that 2v1 wasn't enough, so I wanted a 3rd boat. And so he just moved past me into the Mirtun Sea. So I sent some boats into there to see if I can kind of trap him. But he's probably going to keep moving on to the Aegean or just keep avoiding me, which is going to be annoying because he's still blocking my trade routes while this is happening. We are still at war, so yeah, that is frustrating. It's tempting to go kick their ass just to get rid of this nuisance, you know, because getting rid of the boats is not going to be enough to get that automatic ceasefire. I'm assuming just because Sicily itself does have this little route that allows you to move armies in between these provinces even without a navy. So I'm assuming this counts as bordering provinces. And yeah, so it's going to be treated like the Hungarians, where we're just going to be at war forever until someone does something about it. And that someone might have to be me, which, you know, I could do that eventually. At some point, I can just kind of send a bunch of angry Varangian guards there to chop them down. And I was looking at the build requirements for Varangian guards, and it's not that high. So I might actually do that and try to get them here in Constantinople relatively soon. I think that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. A bunch of angry Varangians just chopping down royal knights in Sicily just to like teach them a lesson. That feels like that could be the good choice. So, in any case, things are pretty quiet. Income again, it's stable. It's fine. You know, 3,300, 3,400 is like fine, but it's not unlocking this incredible potential until I can really get my fleets everywhere. And as you can see, I am taking it slow for sure. Like, I want 2 boats in the Adriatic. I want 2 boats here in the Ionian Sea. You know, I'm trying to chase down the Sicilian boat. So I am taking things slow. What I do need to do is, now that I do have ports in Tripoli and Antioch, I need to make sure that I have a boat in the Eastern Mediterranean being connected to these other trade route at all times. Like, I need to stop moving this boat out in this direction. I'm going to do it this time just to... There's still a Sicilian boat in the neighborhood. But I need to get this connected to start making some real money off of these provinces. Yeah, I need a boat in the Eastern Mediterranean and I need a boat in the Nile coast. So that should be... Yeah, my next couple of boats should probably be end up in those sea regions. Oh, hell yeah, Russia, nice. Taking on Crimea now. That feels good. I can trade with Crimea. Hell yeah. It looks like I was able to sink that Sicilian boat. That's nice. I did not even attack that boat. It must have attacked me, and I just so happened to have had more ships in the neighborhood, so that feels pretty good. The Prince of Novgorod has died from an illness, but thank goodness his heir has taken over, because I like what they're doing. I'm a fan. I'm a fan right now. Famine in Naples, income halved in Naples. That's not good news. Lord Provenzacaci, secret blackmailer, so he will be getting, once they find out that he's actually a blackmailer and it's no longer a secret, he will be losing some loyalty, but right now it's not that much of an issue. But it's spanning well. Like, he can't stop being good, can he? He has a gift for being able to talk himself out of any difficulty. Not that he has to. He can pretty much kill his way out of any difficulty. But this makes it hard to fault his religious views, and it makes him a persuasive administrator, +1 piety, and +1 acumen. God damn. Can he be any more perfect? The answer is no. The answer is no, you cannot. This one hurts. Oh, that hurts. Losing 2 boats. That one doesn't feel right. Because I know that they had a galley. I know I had a galley and at least a dromon. I feel like I had a... I thought I brought a 3rd boat in as well. And I think that he had a 1-star admiral and I think I had a 2-star admiral. It just doesn't make sense. That sucks. At least I did sink this boat here in the Sea of Crete, so a little bit of a give and take there. The naval war is, it's annoying. Yeah, it's annoying, as it often is. So yeah, the King of Poland has died, but he has an heir, and a keep has been finished here in Palestine, so now I can start building in that church. And then a port is finished here in Nicaea, so now that I can trade that grain from Nicaea as soon as I clear my waterways, my trade. And yeah, the keep is finished in North Georgia finally. Now I just want to keep kind of boosting this. I want to get Georgia as well defended as possible, eventually with a real army instead of just peasants. But yeah, fortifications are a good step in the right direction. Merchant completed here in Constantinople. This is that 2nd tier trading post building here. As figured, may as well get it going here and make some more money. And yeah, I just went crazy with spending because yeah, I saw the writing on the wall. Like the Sicilian Navy, it's being really persistent, and losing 2 boats in that one turn, it's not good. And I need more boats. I was hoping that I could kind of make do with the three provinces. 4, including Constantinople, but I just kind of went crazy with it, and I'm going to be building ports in every single province that does border the sea. I always do that anyway in all my campaigns. I do like freedom of movement amongst all of my provinces, of course, once I have that naval supremacy. In addition to that, though, I might just take it a step further and build boats in as many provinces as possible. Not that crazy, but like more. I want more. So I started building a keep here in Greece so that I can get that boat building. Is it the shipwright? I always forget what it is. I probably could do that here in Georgia. Shit, I don't have a port in Georgia. Okay, fine. Let's get a port in Georgia. And then I can do that there. But yeah, I just spent a lot, like, you know, there's no way, it's going to be a while before I can get all of these buildings going here in all of these provinces, but I need more boats. I can't keep just waiting for this. This is getting stupid. Yeah, 2-star admiral now for this galley here in the Sea of Mirtun. So, yeah, this sucks. Do I, like, okay, so I do have a 2-star versus his 2-star, and I would have 2 dromons and a galley versus his dromon. Like, all right, let's do it. Hopefully I don't lose everything. That would suck. That would really, really suck. And we are building. Let's just keep building here. And yeah, that's cutting off our trade to the Adriatic. Like everything that we were working towards, right? Like this is everything that we wanted, and Now we can't even have it because of these freaking boats just keep on popping in. So yeah, I need to clear them off. And even it's might Jesus, they have holy shit. Who are they fighting? Who fought them? They have 2 units of injured Royal Knights. That's interesting. Are the Sicilians at war with anyone else? No, it's just me. I'm really confused by that. I'm scratching my head. I can't. Did someone invade them, or did they try to attack someone? I don't see. And then this got an automatic ceasefire. I have no idea. It's really perplexing. In any case, yeah. So that's going to be the key, is just kind of going forward with that. Yeah, making 362. You know, in Syria with that trading post, with that just basic trading post. I don't know. Again, of course I didn't keep track of what it was before, but actually it tells me, doesn't it? If I just looked over it and it would have told me what the increase would have been. Yeah, it would have. Yep. I should have just looked at that. I actually no, I don't know if it does tell you for trading posts, because it completely depends on all of the variables, right? Yeah, I don't know. God damn, I just realized there's a Sicilian boat right off the coast of Egypt. How are they building so many boats? Do they not just have Sicily and Malta? Do they have anything else? Conquest? No, they haven't conquered shit. It's just, they don't even have Malta. It's just Sicily. How are they building that many boats? So they have 3 that I can see. Man, what a nuisance. Well, yeah, maybe we'll take out this boat in this end turn. There is some improvement there. Yep, that feels good. 1 ship down. And that's it for the Byzantine Emperor, yes. So he has died, and his heir lives now. So I'm assuming it's going to be Prince Andronicus now. I am the richest. Okie dokie. Port is finished here in Serbia and Egypt. All right. And all right, so who's next in line? Next in line is going to be Prince Manuel, the 40-year-old, and then Prince Romanus. It's going to be interesting, though, to see if Prince Michael takes over and becomes the next line in succession once he becomes of age. And there's, oh, yeah, okay, there's actually 4 other sons on the way. Okay. So, yeah, these are the brothers, Prince Manuel and Prince Romanus. Oh, these must be, I think that these must be Andronicus's, my new emperor. They must be the sons of my new emperor, because I don't think that they were here before. I thought we just had Prince John and Prince Michael before. So, and they just happen to be younger than the emperor's sons. So, yeah, I think that he becomes the next line in succession, next in the line of succession once he becomes of age. Hopefully, I think that's how that works. So, not that I wouldn't mind Prince Emmanuel becoming emperor someday, but by the time that happens, he's going to be so old. Prince Andronicus, yeah, he's 51. This poor guy. He did very well for me. He did very well for me in the campaign versus the Egyptians and the Turks. Unfortunately, he did pick up hesitant, but that's my fault. That's not his fault. I had him as a feigned attack. He did a feigned attack, and this game punishes you for that. So, -1 loyalty, -2 morale. Luckily, he is natural leader, so the whole morale thing kind of evens out. He's not very pious, and skilled attacker though, so he's a 6-star general when he attacks. He did well for me, but yeah, he's not pious at all. 2, 3, 7 influence, and yeah, that's fine. So I'm pretty happy with him. And unfortunately, he's not going to be around much longer, but he should be around when Prince Michael comes of age, I think. 51, so he has to live to the age of 57. Yeah, I think that's the case. And it's going to be worth keeping an eye on. Again, this is something that I don't know if this is true, but it's worth just kind of like taking a peek at and seeing if the influence of the emperor at the time that a prince becomes of age influences how good the stats are of that new prince. So, yeah, considering that he's going to be a 7 influence emperor, Yeah, we'll see. Okie dokie, that is more like it. That's my cup of tea right there. So that's another Sicilian ship down, and that should make a bit of room for me. The Almohad Khalifa has died from an illness, but he does have an heir. Yeah, but I just keep running out of money. That's fine. Prince Romanus oozes charm, -1 dread. You would think like that could give him something, but no, it just makes him a worse governor of people, I suppose. You'd think charming would be a good thing, but I guess not. But that feels okay. Yeah, that's how's our income looking right now? Yeah, sitting at almost 4,000. And that's still with like not great taxes. Like I have normal taxes on Tripoli and normal on Antioch. I've been moving them up and down every single turn. It seems like there is variables. Like I feel like it's interesting. It almost like acts like there's seasons in this game, even though I know each turn does indicate or represent 1 year. But it does, loyalty does fluctuate by turn, almost by a pattern. Like it almost feels like a pattern, you know, where each turn you can, or every other turn, you can move the taxes up in every province easily. And then the next turn you have to check it again because they, you know, now you have to move the taxes down again. Otherwise you're going to get a rebellion or something. And it really does fluctuate until you can just really lock shit down and get like a spy in every province just to make sure that you're, you know, because that does raise loyalty as well, as having a spy in your provinces. You know, stuff like that. That really does lock the loyalty side down. But I'm still a ways away before I can get spies. Spies is a tier 3 thing. Like you need a castle to get a spy. Can I even build the spy building? No, I need a tavern first. Yeah, I need a tavern, and that allows me to train assassins. And then I can build the brothel that allows me to build the spy. So I could do that here in Constantinople, but I don't really want to train agents here. I mean, I was fine doing the bishops, but I do just want to keep doing boats here in Constantinople for now, you know. That's pretty important to me. And with that in mind, I should probably work on trying to get an alliance with the Novgorods again. I think we did have one for a brief period, and then they canceled it because I went to war, or, you know, I was attacked by one of their allies. Who are they allied with that? Yeah, the fucking Sicilians. God damn it. No one should be friends with them, okay? They suck. They really suck. It is interesting. It does seem like in many cases in this game, it does feel like the religions will stick side by side with one another. You know, Catholics with Catholics and Muslims with Muslims. At least if they're choosing, you know, their side versus another religion. But I don't feel like that works with Orthodoxy. I feel like the Novgorods, at least just, you know, playing as the Byzantines, the Novgorods are just like, they don't give a fuck. They'll choose a Catholic faction over me, in my experience. But yeah, as I predicted, that was a pretty slow episode. But I did get a lot done. You know, I'm working on it. I did, and as I said, pushing out here with my boats is going to be a slow push. Looks like the Sicilians are down to 1 boat. I'm sure they have 6 more on the way somehow. But yeah, I am making progress in that regard. And I will get, I mean, shit, I can just get a boat in the Nile coast right now. That'll make me some money. And as you can see, like I have some boats back here. Like I have numbers, and that's because I've been needing to defend against Sicilian boats, kind of diving my back lines here. And I haven't been able to really press out with my boats. And that's, you know, it's frustrating, but like, whatever. Yeah, it takes time. It always has been that way with the Navy side of things in this game. So I will be getting more keeps and more shipwrights out so that I can get more boats in the water faster. And hopefully that will just make my economy go boom. Hopefully sooner rather than later. And I did find a Polish princess, so I will be asking her if she wants to marry one of my peeps. But my emissary has a long ways to go. He's up here in Wessex, so he has to travel all the way down before he can talk to her. But I've been looking everywhere for a princess that would say yes. Hopefully she's the one. We will see. But you know what? That's going to be it for this episode. As always, I hope you have enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching. This has been Conestep playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.